Light Rock 96.9 WFPG. We're also doing this on air, John. I met you before. I don't know if you can see this.
Hold it up more.
Way back.
Hold it up. Hold it up a little bit.
Got it.
In the
94.
Count Basie Theater. One of your Christmas shows. And I have this in my office, and when people come in, they look at it. They look at you, they look at me, they look at the hair, and then they look at me, and they look at the photo, and they go, "Wow!" And I said, "Yeah, I know." But you were so gracious. We went backstage, and I said, I'm Gary from WJLK in Asbury Park. Thank you for loving me. He goes, "Thank you for supporting my record." And they had a mini bar set up on the stage, and I went up on stage, and you guys were playing "Living on a Prayer," and I had a cold one.
Nice.
One of the coolest moments in my life. It was so awesome. And Tico threw one of the drumsticks out in the audience. It was really cool. Could you ever imagine, especially all those anthems like "Living on a Prayer," "Wanted Dead or Alive," "Bad Medicine," how even more stronger and more popular they are today, going back when you first recorded them back in the mid-'80s?
Yeah, who would have thought? Each time you write a song, you have the best wishes for it, and then you put it out there in the stars, and you just wait. And the body of work has spoken for itself, and every time you're releasing a new record, you get just as excited as you did then, which is wonderful. Everybody should still be a fan that's in the music business. And that speaks to why I still do it. I'm a fan. But those songs have stood the test of time. They really have.
Now, when you heard the final mix of "Living on a Prayer," did you know, wow, this is something special?
Not really, to be honest, to be bluntly honest, because the song was so unique. It didn't sound like anything on the radio. It didn't sound like anything before it. And we had come up with something and then reintroduced the talk box, which, we sort of gotten from the generation before us with Peter Frampton. But no one had used it in a number of years. And I had good feelings about "You Give Love a Bad Name." I thought that was going to, get us some radio. But I didn't know that "Living on a Prayer" was going to become, the rocket ship that it has been for, 36 years now? And "Wanted Dead or Alive." I mean, that album was stacked.
Right. Let me ask you this question. If you're driving around and you hear it on the radio and it comes on, is your first inclination just to go and tune it up, turn it up?
It is now. I know that there was a period in my life that maybe I was more concerned with how are we going to do it again, and you might consider, I'm going to just change that channel. I can't bear the stress. And then because I've done it for so long and have had so many other hits, that when I do hear it on the radio now, I'm really proud. And so no, I will turn it up. Yeah.
Cool. Also on the line, John, or on the call, we have Eddie Davis from the Light Rock Morning Show, who wakes up every morning at 3 a.m. to keep South Jersey informed, to keep things local. Ed, you want to jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. John, congratulations on 2020. What did it seem as though at one point that 2020 might not actually come out in 2020?
No, Ed. When the recording began in March of 2019, we went to Nashville with a batch of songs that I did think was the album. And I'd come up with the album title 2020, a clear vision. Okay, you get it. And after "This House Is Not for Sale," I said, I really do have clear vision again. I know what we stand for, what the purpose of the band is. And the other wryness and kind of tongue-in-cheek approach was going to be, oh, it's an election year. Wouldn't this be a cute bumper sticker? But as I had time, we continued the writing process, and I continued to write so many more topical songs. So by the time that the COVID crisis hit and I postponed the release of the record, writing the last two songs, "Do What You Can" and "American Reckoning," that title took a whole different meaning onto me, and it was very topical. And I realized I was a witness to history, and the presentation of this record in and of this moment was timely. And so it was ready to go. It was just a matter of when I was going to put it out. And October 2nd was as soon as we could get it out after I had recorded "American Reckoning" and "Do What You Can." So we made it in the calendar year. which is cute for the album title, but it was also time. This collection of songs, it's time to share them.
Yeah, I'm interested in kind of a two-parter concerning your philanthropic work. First of all, I would imagine that the Soul Kitchen, the amount of people using it has grown exponentially. And also, I know you know a lot of Jersey local musicians. Talk about what a tough year this has been for working local.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. The Soul Kitchen, which ended up being the catalyst for Do What You Can. We've had 3 JBJ Soul Kitchens in New Jersey. The first one is almost 11 years old now, our flagship, as we refer to it, in Red Bank. And that's where I was washing dishes. And for most folks who know what the JBJ Soul Kitchens are, we rely on volunteers. And volunteerism could not happen in the COVID crisis. So there I was behind the sink and washing dishes again, but wanting the in-need population to know that we would be there for them. Because we were also dealing with a lot of folks that were coming to us in need that weren't in need a month or 6 or 8 weeks prior. These were hardworking people that just were on furlough and their jobs were lost. And so it was a difficult time. For those first 2 months, I was at the kitchen 5 days a week, washing the pots and the pans so that we could provide the hundreds and then the thousands of meals that went out. And then we realized the dire need out on Eastern Long Island, where we spend a lot of our summer. And so we went out there and opened a food bank. And for those of you who don't know the difference between a food bank and a pantry, the bank are who give the food to the pantries. So we were providing the groceries to 7 pantries, who then in turn fed over 25,000 people, and we paid for it. And I was working there 3 days a week all summer. And so I saw the need, and we knew what to do, and we knew how to do it.
Do What You Can, John. 2020 is out today. It was originally supposed to be in May, so it is out today. First performed the Jersey for Jersey benefit, which raised over $6 million for our state. How touched were you when all those donations started to come in? That must have been just an emotional and such a feel-good feeling.
We take care of our own, as our friend Bruce once said. But in truth, we did that concert knowing that, like you'd said, a lot of small businesses, people working in restaurants. When you brought up the guys that I would know locally that play with me in the Kings of Suburbia when I get to have some fun and we're not on the road, all those guys are the ones that play in the bars 6 nights a week. They haven't been able to pull in a check from performing since February. And it's been tough for everybody. So when the telethon idea came up, it was the First Lady, Tammy Murphy, who called me. And I said, oh, I'm in, don't worry about it. And I've written a song, and I'll even premiere it on our telethon. And then, of course, Bruce joined right afterwards, and I got Tony Bennett to do it. And, we had a wonderful supported cast of people who have either grown up and live in New Jersey or had great affinity for Jersey. And so we made, what was it, $6 or $7 million, right? And so it was very successful.
Wonderful. So the 2020 tour is going to be in 2021. Yeah. Any firmed up plans about that?
I think we'd be lucky if it was 21. I have a feeling it won't be any time before 22.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what the rules are going to be. So in the immediate future, I make my wife and children applaud and light lighters when I come down the stairs in the morning.
Now, I know we're tight on time, John, but hopefully we can get just a little extra since we are in New Jersey. We asked our listeners, who, by the way, love you, some questions on Facebook. And Mark H. from Mystic Islands, we just want to thank you for the time you've supported Special Olympics in New Jersey. So I thought that was a great response. Nicholas P., not a question, just a great appreciation for the great humanitarian work you do. More people should follow your lead. Phil F., my wife and 2 of her friends would like to take you to dinner. And then Jamie T. in Galloway, will you run for president? Because right now we are living on a prayer.
Oh my goodness, I'm running from president. At this point, it seems like a job that nobody wants.
Right. And then Noel F. from Absecon, would you ever consider doing a beach concert in Atlantic City?
that was something that was
when you can
discussed.
tour.
Yeah, that was once discussed many years ago, back at the time when I owned the Philadelphia Soul. So I'm aware of those beach concerts, and wouldn't that be fun? You know, you never say never. It would be a great
Right.
idea.
Absolutely, we'd love to
Right.
have you.
And just one final question: from the Atlantic City Expressway to all your superstar status now, any fond memories or thoughts of Atlantic City or South Jersey, you know, before you hit the
Sure.
big time?
Of course, you know, driving across to get there, you know, from Philly, or coming the long way from the house in Jersey. But I remember when we did the Unplugged album and DVD at the Borgata. That one really stands out more than the convention hall shows. I've done a whole lot of different shows over the years, but the Borgata stuff was always my favorite stuff. The convention center stuff was cool, but it was the more intimate things that I remember.
Right. Well,
Good luck
thank
to
you
you,
so
my
much
friend.
for your time. 2020.
And to lose all my money, and
Yeah.
occasionally get a great meal. But yeah, I've had a lot of great experiences in AC.
Yeah. Yeah. 2020 is out today. Do what you can. Available everywhere. Do what you can. The single. Jon, our listeners, South Jersey, New Jersey, love you. I'm sure you're aware of that. Thank you for all that you do. It's an absolute pleasure talking to you today.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And God bless South Jersey. It's always good to say that's my home, you know. So we appreciate y'all. Be safe. Hope to see you soon.